TikTok crackdown. You're taking a live look right now at the University of Oklahoma. This is courtesy of the South Oval Norman campus webcam. The university, along with several others across the Sooner State, banning TikTok on university devices and networks. Congress passing legislation cracking down on the popular video sharing app for its alleged ties to China and the country's Communist Party. Mark Wayne Mullen is a congressman from Oklahoma and a senator-elect for the state. Congressman, welcome. Thanks for coming on today. As we know, universities nationwide, they're really cracking down on TikTok, including in your state of Oklahoma. The governor there passing an executive order banning the app from campus devices and networks. Where do you stand on the issue? Do you support it?
Absolutely. We've been talking about this for quite some time. I sit on HPSC, which is the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. And we have been raising the red flag about the dangers of TikTok. And it's not, a lot of people look at this and go, why is TikTok dangerous? It's a social media site. It's because they start learning your behaviors. There's two things that the Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, is trying to get done. Is one, we're at a very diverse ethnic group inside the United States, and so we have a vast different interest. So with the young people, they're trying to figure out what is the common thread and what is it they can do to distract. Because once they can find a common thread and distract you, that's where propaganda comes in. The second thing is when they start looking at universities and state devices, government devices, is TikTok also has a tracker on it too. And so when they can attach to different apps, so they can breach security areas because they can capture your passcodes. If you work on universities, it's sensitive programs because the DoD, Department of Defense, we partner with universities all over the country with technology. When they start looking at government devices, they can get into sensitive areas. And so TikTok is truly not just a social media site. It is a tracking device that the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, has put on our devices, and we've sucked it in.
You know, students, I'm sure, who've gotten used to the app are frustrated with the fact that they wouldn't be able to access it, and maybe they don't understand what you've just explained. Again, these direct ties to the CCP. The University of Oklahoma defending the decision, though, writing a letter to students and staff saying this: in compliance with the governor's executive order 2022-33, effective immediately, no university employee or student shall access the TikTok application or website on university-owned or operated devices, including OU wired and wireless networks. University-administered TikTok accounts must be deleted and alternate social media platforms utilized in their place.
Right.
Sir, I'm just wondering, is this an opportunity for the United States to be innovative when it comes to social media, to compete on an international stage and make it safer for users?
Yeah, yes and no. We have an open internet process, and what I mean by that is that we have an internet process where you can enter it from multiple areas. And so when you have Wi-Fi, for instance, you have Wi-Fi that says unsecure. No one even pays attention to that. Everybody just jumps onto unsecure websites. And when you look at China, China has a closed system where they can choose who can get on, get off. They track everything that goes in. It's like an exit ramp and an on-ramp where we have multiple roads to enter into one area. And so we could be innovative, but there's still not a way to make it secure because the government doesn't control the web. The government doesn't control the Wi-Fi that everybody has. And so they don't control the portal to where people access. So while we can be innovative, even though China would steal it from us if we're not careful, we still don't have the control, and nor should we have the control because we are a free country that, say, a communist country like China does. But I'm telling you, it's a huge threat because when you go back to what the University of Oklahoma said, which I commend them for doing this because they're very proactive, and they're a university that we partner with in different aspects of our United States government. They're even saying, if you paid attention to that, even on Wi-Fi, on public and secure sites, because they understand what the CCP is doing. They're literally robbing technology and robbing passwords to gain access to the university's sensitive material.
Sir, since we're talking about students, I want to switch gears slightly and bring it overseas. We've learned recently that in Afghanistan, the Taliban is no longer allowing women to study at universities or hold higher positions within the government. I know you personally helped get friendlies, translators out of Afghanistan. What does this mean going forward for women overseas in that country? And as you become the new role of Senator of Oklahoma, will you take action to investigate what's happening?
Absolutely. This is very personal to me. The original phone call I had that got us involved in getting Americans out of Afghanistan back in August of 2021 was because there was 20 Americans stuck at the American University in Kabul. And then we went ahead, and our team that I was privileged to be part of went ahead and got a little over 300 Americans out by the time it was all said and done. But it doesn't surprise us. Anybody that's ever worked over in Afghanistan, that's ever dealt with the Taliban, and we all know that this wasn't going to be a government that was going to be open to the female population. We understand exactly what Sharia law is, and it's very strict. And I say strict in a long way, and with a big word, meaning that it doesn't allow freedom of movement. It's very restrictive to any female that wants to go out and pursue dreams. It pushes them down and keeps them uneducated because they believe that an uneducated population is easier to control. So it's heartbreaking to me. So yes, we will, as a senator, we will continue to fight this, but we'll also figure out why the Biden administration had such a complete lapse and failure in understanding exactly what was going on, how they lied to the American people about the fall of Afghanistan and the Americans that they left behind. The complete failure of the State Department when it came to helping Americans leave not just Afghanistan but Pakistan and Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. Just yesterday, I got a phone call from a young lady that we helped to get out, Miriam, who was the first American to leave after the fall of Afghanistan. And her family is stuck in Pakistan because they helped her get out. Even though she's an American, they helped her get out. And now they're going and prosecuting them, and has actually attacked their house twice, and we had to evacuate them to Pakistan. They're still sitting in Pakistan trying to get to a different country. We're still dealing with the aftermath and the complete failure of the Biden administration. No one has been held accountable. No one. General Donahue, who was there, General Dunford, who had drawn up the original plan, but no longer in part of the government. You had Secretary Austin, General McKenzie, Secretary Blinken. No one has been held accountable, and Americans lost their lives, and we see the complete failures continue to happening too, and it's sickening.
Yeah. What does accountability look like, and how will the next class of not only the GOP-led House, but you entering the Senate really strive to find accountability?
Well, I know in the House, Speaker-elect Kevin McCarthy has gave me his word. He's going to investigate what took place, especially when there's a ambassador Promagine of Tajikistan at the time, when we had Americans at the border of Afghanistan and Tajikistan, personally told me that he was told by Washington, D.C. not to assist me in any way. Those are quote words. I was told by Washington not to assist you in any way. Why wouldn't they help get Americans out? This was an ambassador, United States ambassador to Tajikistan. We're trying to bring Americans out. That's first. We're going to get to the bottom of that. Why was he told that, and who? So I know in the House they're going to investigate it. I haven't spoken with Leader McConnell, but I feel very strongly that the Republicans are still going to look into this. I know personally I will be looking into this, but accountability is starting to figure out who was calling the shots, who made the decisions, and why haven't heads rolled yet. And we'll make sure that takes place.
All right. Looking forward to finding out those answers and more in the upcoming year. As Senator-elect Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma, thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.